So in this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of solitary confinement. Just kidding. No, I'm really not here to make fun of anyone. I like to make light of subjects, and really what I'm here to talk about is the importance of spending time by yourself. Which is totally, yeah, that happens in solitary confinement, but this video is not about solitary confinement. One of the most important things that I've learned I need, especially right now on my journey of healing, is time by myself. Why is time by oneself important? Let's look at it this way, right? As a person grows and evolves, they learn things. And much of what they learn is about themselves. Oftentimes, much of what they learn about themselves comes from other people, right? And that's a result of how they're raised, right? They are told who, what, and how they are, rather than learning from a place of, internal examination and everything. You know, Usually, I wouldn't say usually, sometimes, and maybe even oftentimes this doesn't happen, but healthy individuation and differentiation, right? These are the kinds of things that allow a person to really be with themselves and learn about themselves and understand what it is that they need. When you haven't gotten that in life, that's actually why it's important to take time by yourself, right? Have your own sense of alone time. What is it that is allowed in Chris's sphere? What is it that is not allowed? What is it that is wanted? What is it that is not wanted? And I really just want to take a dive into the universe that is absolutely all of the fucking noise that occupies a person's sphere. And when I say that, really, I mean boundaries, right? As they grow up, as they're raised in, probably an environment of chaos, right? People that are raised in an environment of chaos tend to have a very challenging time accepting peace into their lives and adapting peace, choosing objects, meaning people, that are peaceful, right? When you're raised in an environment of chaos, you tend to become familiar with and comfortable with chaos. And so then, therefore, you tend to choose people that reinforce that, right? Um, but the reason why it's important to take alone time to yourself, um, first and foremost, like, for people that were raised in chaos, right? They're probably very used to a very specific repetition, compulsion, pattern, and theme, right? They're used to noise and noise and noise and noise. They're used to being told what to do, who to be, how to be, what to say, this, that, and the other. And there's just a bunch of external objects and things constantly trying to get into their space and fucking violate them as an individual. Control who they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do and what they're supposed to say and all this, that, and the other. And it can become very overwhelming. But the thing is, because they learned that that's what's normal, or because they learned that that's what's normal, in childhood and everything, they learned the chaos. They learned that entire dynamic of absolute mind-boggling fuckery. They continue to choose the same fucking themes in the forms of objects, meaning people, right? I really can't express enough how important alone time is. I really can't. And when I say alone time, I'm not meaning to get as extreme. I know that I said solitary confinement. That's a whole different thing. I'm not here to talk about that. You can resort to going out into the middle of the fucking forest where there's literally nobody, right? But when I say alone time, I mean fucking silence. I mean, the opportunity to just sit by yourself with nothing else, no other distractions. I'm always fascinated when, I mean, not that this really happens, but like, now that I think about it, like, it's fascinating that a person might think that they know themselves, right? But then at the same time, if they were to go into, a very serious process or episode of solitude, and I don't mean the extreme version, I mean just being by themselves, right? They might find that they actually don't know themselves. And what they've been following is just streams of fucking noisy consciousness, um, based in or based from other people, right? It's fascinating. When you spend enough time around other people, you probably lose yourself. When you spend too much time around other people, especially people that do not have healthy boundaries and do not know how to approach you from a place of a healthy dynamic, right? You're gonna fucking lose yourself. When you surround yourself with people who are very comfortable and familiar with telling you who you are and how to be, what you should do, what you should think, how you should feel, this, that, and the other, you're lost. Everything is diffused there. There's no differentiation between self and other. You're a lot more likely to give in to whatever it is that they're saying, whatever it is that they're suggesting. And with that, I mean, I wouldn't even say lose yourself. You've already lost yourself. This is really just a foundational understanding of self, right? And what is there. You can look at it. You can allow yourself to understand it. It might be kind of intimidating. It might be kind of scary. That's okay, right? What is there? Because something is there. And it's not good or bad or right or wrong. But it's more so a matter of getting familiar with what it is that's there, right? If a majority of it came from another person or multiple other people, see it for what it is. Understand how that formed. Understand how that molded. Why that molded. The dynamics of the self that allowed that to mold. Oh, you have either permeable or no boundaries at all whatsoever. Therefore, you're much more likely to give into what other people have to say to you and about you, and more so adapt and adopt that, right? Again, it's not good or bad. The thing that I'm trying to get at here, really, is authenticity of self. What is the self, where it came from, and do you really fucking want it, right? Who you are as a person, the way you are as a person, where did it come from? Because there's a likelihood that it came from somebody else through years and years and years of conditioning. And if you were to be locked out of a prison that you didn't even, or no, if you were to be unlocked from a prison that you didn't even know you were in, would you actually leave? Or would you get out and you'd be like, this is fucking weird, and then turn right the fuck back around and go right back in and close the door? Again, it's not good or bad or right or wrong. It's a matter of knowing the self. And of course, balance is important and necessary, right? It's not a matter of all or nothing. I'm going to spend the rest of my life by myself and completely shut myself off from other people. No, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'm just looking at this for what it is and exploring something that shows that when a person is raised a certain way, that has them raised by people that tell them who they are, what they are, how to think, how to feel, what to do, this, that, and the other, all of it, right? They're like sucked into a fucking universe that is probably not even theirs, right? And so just looking at that for what it is and understanding how that formed, how that molded, what it means. And I use prison as a metaphor more so because, are you really in control of your life? Are you really doing what it is that you want to do? Do you even really know who you are? Or is who you are really just a fucking collection of things from other people? This is just a matter of knowing yourself. And you can find that out when you spend a lot of time by yourself.